So this is Michael, and he's been recently written up in some news articles for his micropenis. He tells some of the news outlets that he was first made aware of the size of his penis, or the fact that the size of his penis probably wasn't the size maybe of others, with a girlfriend that he'd had in school at some point. Her reaction, she was startled, laughed, something like that, let him know that his penis size probably wasn't typical. He states that his penis is less than 1 inch in length. I'm not sure if that's a stretched penile length or not. But he says that he has a goal of getting himself in the Guinness Book of World Records. He talks about how tough this has been. It's something that's on his mind all the time. It's been difficult. It's been tough. He has mentioned that he is unable to have sex, that penetrative sex is very difficult because of the size of his penis. He's also talked about the fact that he has to urinate sitting down as well because of the size of his penis as well. And this has created some difficulty, of course, when going to a restroom and there are urinals only, how he feels and sort of, how he has to maneuver life. And I wanted to share his story because in my videos, I talk about sex, sexuality, I talk about blood pressure, cholesterol, I talk about everything. And while we've talked about large penises and people's questions about them, I also wanted to highlight someone who has a different perspective. He says that he is under the care of doctors. He's visited a number of doctors and, has contemplated treatment for this. What I find inspirational about his story, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to share this story, is that, in this particular article, they talk about him wanting to sort of turn what he may perceive as lemons into lemonade. He wants to try to get in the Guinness Book of World Records and try to, turn this into something that he would consider positive. And I admire him for that. I've always said that, I want everyone watching my videos to love the person that they are and to love the body that they're in. What I do recognize, however, is that sometimes we're given medical conditions or features that make it sometimes difficult, and I recognize that. So let's talk a little bit about micropenis so that you can understand really what defines a micropenis, okay? So first of all, a micropenis, which is what it sounds, it's a small penis compared to, say, the average size. It's rare. Only 0.6% of people worldwide have a micropenis, so it's not very common. And generally the definition is a penis that is less than 2.5 standard deviations below the mean penis size for age, okay? One thing I should say is that oftentimes micropenis is discovered in infancy. It's discovered often when a child is very, very young. So let's talk about adult individuals with penises. The average stretched penile length, we call it SPL, is around 5.25 inches. I've done videos on the average penis size. Many of you have written that you were surprised about it. I've often said I think it's because of the porn and some of the images that we see would make us think that, shoot, it's easy for all of us to think that we're abnormal based on the images that we see in the world. But the average stretched penile length is 5.25 inches. The definition of micropenis for an adult is a stretched penile length of less than or equal to 3.67 inches, okay? So that is the definition of micropenis in an adult, a stretched penile length of less than or equal to 3.67 inches. This is a condition that oftentimes has hormonal issues or genetic issues. Oftentimes there's an underlying condition that causes this. So I think that's important to say, right? I think sometimes people feel like they've brought something on themselves, whether it's this or something else. But micropenis oftentimes is due to a underlying genetic condition or a hormonal issue to no fault of the person who has it. And I need to be very clear about that. Going back to Michael, I give him a lot of praise. I appreciate him for sharing his story because I think that for all the other people out there with micropenises, hopefully they will feel less alone. And I give Michael a lot of credit because it can be tough to be perceived as different, no matter what that difference is. I also admire him for going for the Guinness Book of World Records. If he's saying in some ways, if this is what I'm given, then let me sort of make the most of it. And I'm always a fan of that. Again, Michael, thank you for sharing your story. I'm Dr. Jen Caudle, practicing family physician. I'm an on-air health expert and video creator. I do daily videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Click the little bell for updates. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, you name it. Please follow me there and go to my website, drjencaudle.com, to sign up for my free weekly health newsletter.